Hang on. Okay. I'm a little frazzled right now because I'm trying to get everything set up properly. Yeah. Alright, hang on. Let me get my multi-chat set up correctly here so I can see what's going on. Yesterday I was trying to clean up space on my computer and I stupidly and accidentally deleted Atrium Multistream for OBS. I didn't recognize the name of it and I just deleted it. So when I booted up this morning and I saw it, I was like, where's all my Multistream dock stuff in OBS? And it wasn't there. Let's just test this out now. Okay, I think we're good. Let me see. Let's test that on Kick and YouTube. And Rumble. I don't want any more issues. Okay, looks like we're good on all of them. X should be up as well. Hopefully my late start didn't scare everyone away. But it's okay. We will survive. Just let me bring up something here to talk about. All right. Let's get rid of these older these test messages right here. We don't need them. Okay, so hopefully today we're gonna beat the lake bed. Got a little stuttering here, not sure why. We have to beat it because I named the episode Call Me Ishmael, and I put the boss as the image, so that's what people expect. Oh wait, do I have to, I don't think I have to put these on. I think I can actually just use my little demon chicken thingy. Let's see. No, I gotta actually go. I do have my quality of life in place here, where I'm moving just as fast with my boots as I would as I would not with my boots. Okay, now he should be able to warp me or not. Ah, there's my good friend. Oh, yeah, I was supposed to. I was supposed to just click it outside. It's alright, though. We'll be okay. Just want to get a good idea if any people are watching. We should be near the end of this. Let's see. Okay, so we've basically completed the main puzzle here. We've gotten the Clawshot, which is awesome. One of my favorite weapons in all of Zelda. Favorite items, excuse me, in all of Zelda. And the water is running. Now I need a key. I need a key to get to that center door down there. And I believe... yeah, they're all in there. So we gotta do some hippity hoppity here. This is where we need to go. Just want to make sure no one is okay, good. So I had a it was like almost like deja vu. I had a recurring a recurring comment, one that usually only shows up on TikTok, but back when I was doing my Metroid Prime 4 playthrough, I complained about how the game treats you like a child. The way that Miles talks to you is the way that Steve from Blue's Clues talks to the kids. And the first time I put that comment out there. Oops. Sorry. Okay, well, sorry. There's a little bit of a backstory here. In my YouTube journey, I was, like many small creators, I've been trying to, follow different other creators who make a living off of telling you how to make a living off of YouTube. And one of those creators talked about how it's good to have one channel for your shorts and one channel for your longer content, and I didn't know that, so I had basically everything on one channel. And so what I did was I created a second channel, and it's called J Bongo Shorts. Everyone should check it out. It would help me out a lot. And so what I've been doing is I've been putting up my new shorts there, and also slowly moving over my older ones. So I'm not. Yes, I am trying to double dip. It is true. But you gotta do what you gotta do. So the newer shorts are going up, as well as the old ones. And so one of those old ones, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. One of those old ones was the short from Metroid Prime where I criticized the way that the NPCs talk to you. And when I originally put that up, I posted it to TikTok as well as other places, and TikTok especially for some reason really did not like that comment, and it was because according to them, Metroid Prime 4 was a kid's game. Specifically because it was made by Nintendo. That was like their main reasoning. Was like, oh, it's a Nintendo game, you're playing a kid's game, you're 40 years old, you can't, I'm only 39. You can't expect, you know, this kind of, you have to expect this kind of stuff from a kid's game. And I don't know, I think that's very, very silly reasoning. Well, anyway, I got a similar comment like that yesterday. It's like, you know, you're playing a game for kids. It's made by Nintendo, which I think is just really, really silly. One, it's rated teen. Two, it's definitely not like marketed at kids. Nintendo, there is a difference between a kid and a teenager and an adult in the way that they think and the way that they process things. And specifically in the clip, I do mention how the way it's talking is specifically towards like really young kids, like 4-year-olds, when they watch Blue's Clues. So to say that that it sounds this way because it's geared towards 4-year-olds is just not correct at all. Anyway, just I remember that happening again. It was all flashbacks as to how that irked me back then, and it still irks me now that people just, they see Nintendo and they immediately think that there's only two categories in gaming. One, there's games for kids, and there's games not for kids, and both of those are so broad that, you know, unless you're playing a Dark Souls game that's rated M with blood and gore and all that stuff, every other game is therefore at the level of a 4-year-old. You know, I was respectful. I asked that person why they think it's made for kids, but they didn't get back to me. Could have been a bot. But one of the things I pointed out was, as I've pointed out a few times here and there, just because a game is made for kids doesn't mean it has to be like Blue's Clues. Blue's Clues level of obvious. And one of the things I pointed out was, you know, I'd be upset if my son was playing a game and that's the kind of that's the kind of dialogue, or that's the kind of reading that the player had. You know, my 6-year-old is, you know, where we're reading C.S. Lewis together, where we're doing all sorts of things that, and reading all sorts of content that doesn't have that kind of, I don't know if pedantic is the right word, but childish type of dialogue. Anyway, kind of frustrating how people put that label on things and think that kids don't need any kind of higher level dialogue or leading in games. New Game Plus, thanks for joining. I apologize for the late start. I'm glad you found your way back here. Share the word. I am streaming today. I just made a mistake last night when I was cleaning up programs on my computer. I accidentally deleted the Multistream plugins for OBS. And that caused me to have a very late start. So, my bad. I was just rambling to myself about people not understanding what I meant, or understanding what I meant but disagreeing in a way that I felt was wrong when it comes to games for kids. Kids deserve quality content too, and you know. Morning, Tim. Sorry for the late start. I don't know if you heard my explanation, but I was trying to clean up my computer last night and I accidentally deleted all the OBS plugins for my multi-stream stuff. So when I booted things up this morning, nothing was there for me to actually connect OBS to any of the streams, so I had to re-download and set everything up again. If it's scheduled, there's like a 95% chance I'm streaming. So check if I'm not on at like, if I'm like 5 minutes late, check the Discord, because I sent a message to Discord, but I should have sent a post on YouTube too. But anyway, again, sorry for the late start. Seek the Sky, thanks for joining. We got a Kasuto update. Kasuto has been taken to the castle reliquary in the hidden world. He now has discovered the Four Sword. Oh, so the Four Sword exists in this... I don't know why I did that twice. Exists in this timeline. I thought the Four Sword was a precursor to the Master Sword. Like the Picari Sword. Picori Sword? Oh. I never played Four Swords Adventures. Always looked like fun. Right, we need that last key. The Four Sword and Master Sword can coexist. Ah. Didn't know that. Well, I mean, if we're going by time travel rules, it's two Master Swords existing in the same in the same time, technically. Dang it, did I? Okay, good. This is where I want to be. Oh, no, wait. It is not where I want to be. Ugh. Shoot. It was the goddess sword that was the... Okay, yes. Sorry, I was getting my swords confused. Thank you for the clarification. Okay, I gotta get over there. And the Picori blade and Minish Cap became the Four Sword. Oh... I've only played Minish Cap once with my son. And it did not treat my 5-year-old son like a child and give it childish dialogue like in Metroid Prime 4. And he understood it and solved puzzles. Sorry, you guys weren't there for that. While I was by myself, he was ranting about how I'm re-uploading a lot of my old shorts on my shorts channel, and the one that talked about how Metroid Prime 4 talks to you like a child caused another person to basically say that, well, it's a game for kids, what can you expect? So yeah, that's where that came from. Alright. I need to get there. Please be a key. You must be a small key. Ugh. Alright. Ugh, there's keys over there too. And up there. Wow, geez, I missed a lot. Alright. Looks like we gotta go back. Medora, not... Now, Kasuto. We mustn't touch the forest sword underneath its pedestal. An ancient evil is sealed. Kasuto's quest is now paused. It will resume after the Lake Bed Temple. Okay, good. Well, hopefully I can beat the Lake Bed Temple today. That's the goal. We must do this. And I need to get up there. And I think I can. I think I can. Good. Maybe one of these will be I doubt one of these is a small key, but... Oh no, these are all rupees. Would it be better if when interacting with the rupee chest it said, but it won't fit in your wallet now? What will you do? Return. Yeah, that would be better. I think the idea is that they don't want to have too many choices. Just kind of get you out of there as quick as possible. I think these are all rupee chests because I remember getting them. Which means I think the chests that I need are over here. And I don't need to go through here again. Don't need to interact with these guys. Ow. See, this guy says, imagine if there was a rupee bank where you could send overflow. That'd be cool. That'd be a nice quality of life change. I mean, the rupee thing is actually kind of interesting because they actually attempted. Remember, okay, New Game Plus and See the Sky, you weren't there, but at the end of Pragmata, you get a gun that basically is fires off the currency of the game. So the more at the end, this is like after you beat everything, but at the end of the game, you get this currency. You know, you don't need it as much anymore. It's like you don't need the money anymore. And so the gun itself actually fires. Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure. Fires rupees, essentially. And it's their way of taking a now obsolete game mechanic, you know, the currency mechanic, and making it useful. And Twilight Princess does attempt to do that with the magic armor. But one, I mean, it's kind of hard to get, or at least time-consuming. And two, you have to have a lot of rupees to really make max use of it, and I remember it draining really quick. I don't know, I just feel that the rupees in the games have been a staple since the beginning, and to greater, I don't know, to some games they seemed like to have more of a prominent place in the game. Like you needed to collect them to buy the bow in some places and whatnot. But I always felt like at a certain point in the game they're just kind of like, well, you know, you got as many as you can. You can't do anything with them for right now. Especially like in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, like you get rewarded for finding all the golden skulltulas, you can go back to the main guy, and he'll give you a golden rupee every time you talk to him. Which is like, that's great, but what are you gonna spend it on? By the time you get all the golden skulltulas, there's no real incentive. To get these to get the to like get rupees. It just doesn't, there's no real reason to do it. I need a small key to get into that door. There's a door at the bottom level in the center. I'm not sure. Let me check. It is the big lock. Hooray. Thank you, Seek the Sky. Did you know it was not the big lock, or were you just like trying to be nice to me? Hang on, I want to see this here. Reminds me of the Astrobatic. Seek This Guy said, Wind Waker's magic armor used up magic meter, but Wind Waker HD had a much better magic armor, only losing rupees when you took damage. Seek This Guy says, I expected it was the big lock, being this being the bottom dead center. That was a good suspicion. No, but the Zelda game with the best rupee system was actually A Link Between Worlds. That game is really great. I actually want to stream it, but I have to find a good way to do so. If you've never played it, basically you can get any item at any point, any like treasure item to progress the story at any point in your house. Like you have to pay Rivali for it, and you can either rent it or buy it depending on how many rupees you have. And if you die, it goes back to him, and then you have to pay again. And some people found it annoying, but it actually put an emphasis on rupees, like you actually wanted to collect them. Yeah, it starts as a rental system, but if you get enough money, you can buy it outright. And then you can beat the temples in any order, pretty much. Ravio, excuse me, Rivali. That's the other one. That's the Rito. Seek's played all the Zelda games except for the DS games. Okay. Yeah, it's really well done. I had a ton of fun playing that game. I've beaten it a few times. Ravio's Gale is now ready. And he just takes all your money. Alright, this boss is really cool. The setup, when I say really cool, I mean it looks really cool. The setup's really cool. You're fighting a kaiju underwater. But I do recall, I think that this boss is also infamous for being a little annoying. Throw it at me, Ravio. Twilight Aquatic Morpheel. It's a good thing I have fast boots on. Oh. Ow. And game over. What do you want, Midna? Don't get eaten. I got sarlacked. That was it? That was the first phase? I thought it would have taken at least 3 hits. 3 cycles. On. I really wonder how they we're just considering how do we design this boss. Nice. I always loved this as a kid. Again, a simple fight, and ironically it's one of those fights that's not really limited by any kind of cycle. I think you just have to get close to it, aim, shoot, and it's entirely dependent on how fast like you can set yourself up for a good hit, and it's not, oh god, it's not like a weight type thing that I always complain about. But I know that this boss is horrible in speedruns. I've seen a lot of people complain about it. But that was a long time ago, actually. Maybe they found new strats. Not close enough. I will say it is a little easy. There's not anything really coming after me, and he's not trying to eat me, so not a lot of peril there. It's just kind of intimidating. Not my favorite boss in the game. Let's just say that. Thankfully not. As long as it stays that way, the seal shall never be disturbed. Sarlacked. Also, Twilight is a made-up word, where things are lit up by light. These bosses are Twilight by Twilight. Oh, I was wondering. I figured it was a made-up word, but I was also wondering. That makes a lot of sense. They are lit up. They are Twilight up, if you will. They use the same sound. We did it. Oh, now we have our first run-in with Zant. And one of my shorts when we talked about the Fuse Shadow Majora connection, someone on X commented it was like well, you know, Nintendo uses motifs more than actual connections in games, so it's really pointless to discuss these things. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing on X? Why are you bringing this up? Like, everybody loves discussing these things. It's so much fun. But I will agree that there's some connections that are just, they're connections only by motifs, not by any kind of direct, like, the example that when I was engaging with this person, the example I used was Raru. Like, Raru, the Sage of Light, and Ocarina of Time, and Raru, the Sage of Light, the, what are they called? The Zonai. They're not related at all, I don't think. Just by way of function and motif. More on that in a second. That is a creepy mask. Oh, dang. It's pointless to discuss. That's coward's talk. I remember as a kid thinking, wow, geez, that kind of that ancient deity just got manhandled. Did you honestly mean... That's the voice I'm giving him, even though I know he's kind of just a punk. Foolish traitor, Midna. Why do you defy your king? How dare you, implying that my powers are old magic? That is a joke. See, this is how you introduce a villain. I mean, how you continue to introduce a villain. He had an entrance where he took over Zelda's throne room, and now he shows up and he just kind of wrecks you. He stabs you in the head with a stone. Must hurt pretty bad. Did you forget the species of the light dwellers who oppressed our people? Light and darkness will meet at last. Our tribe will take back their realm. Sweet darkness will blot out this harsh light. Gross. Man, they really gotta fix that texture on that guy. They try to do a camera thing with Wolf Link. Everyone gets dizzy as waves of Twilight invades the hidden world. The seal. See, again, like, I don't know what Zant was going to do with them, but they're literally saved by a Deus Ex Machina. The Light God shows up again, teleports them out of there, and now we can resume the story knowing that, you know, Zant, and, you know, feeling that Zant is not to be trifled with. He's not a pushover. It's not like when you encounter Girahim at the beginning of Skyward Sword and you beat him. You fight him and then you beat him, and then I forget what happens. And you somehow, like, escape, and you're still meant to believe that he is like a force to be reckoned with, even though you've already defeated him once. I mean, you could call it plot armor for sure, but, you know, at least it establishes that, you know, that there is some power behind Zant. And then there's this song, Midna's Lament. 4 royal jewels and elemental sanctuary are gone. Shadow beasts have stolen them. I like how they what do you call it? They reverse the color scheme on Midna. I forget, where am I supposed to... I'm supposed to get her back to Zelda. Nobody's... They're just like, Beast, get out! And they see, like, that weird little imp thing. Nobody questions that. It's like, a wolf with a weird little imp walked in. Is there a crowd in front of Hyrule Castle? Maybe? I don't know. Louise is helping me right now. They should have put in a bit where you have to resist the urge to eat the cat. Link it, like, the longer you stay in wolf form, Link starts to turn more and more into a wolf. And you have to resist the urge to tear people's throats out. I do think it's a little unrealistic that the wolf can do this. I have a dog and a cat, and my cat is agile, but my dog is the opposite of agile. Easy. Easy. Thomas defeated the beast that had been attacking the tourists on the bridge. His name was Jay. Sounds as though he brought Telma and her young ward to Kakuko village. Yeah, I think is there... Oh no, I don't believe he's from Hyrule proper at all. Said he's from a small neighboring province of Ordana. This doesn't sound horribly elitist, but people who do not know the city simply do not know fear. Or I have the Triforce of courage. You know, it could be that. And he goes more and more... Yeah, exactly. He goes more and more feral. Oh, man. Look at this guy. Your soul is mine. Thanks for beating the ghost. Can I call you doggy? I'm Giovanni. Consumed by greed. Can't go see my girlfriend, my pet cat. Gengal is frozen in my head. I don't think I've ever been more miserable. You find and defeat the 20... Okay. So that's the way in and out. Once they're... Oh, no, never mind. This is the way I need to go. Gangle or Gangle? Digital Circus? Rats. Various form around Hyrule Castle in the hidden world to trap the beasts. It's too badly overrun. Is that what the wizards do? Or wait, is that actually in the game? Oh, I don't have a Midna. I can't do my charged attack. Sticks. Probably need that. The wizards, okay. It's distinct from the big barrier that appears in the physical. Okay, that's what I was wondering about, because there's that big barrier that shows up. Do it. Peace. Bring the wood up there. Yeah, very fascinating. Yeah, I was actually thinking that exact same thing. This is, it's like, I wonder what this place is. And we'll never see it again. They could have worked in some sort of... That... You know, that's what I loved about Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild had a lot of spaces that, you know, they were non-spaces, but there were also spaces that had callbacks to different games and different locations, and finding all of them was like a reward in and of itself. I love it when games do that, especially Zelda games. Kind of a missed opportunity for a cool location to deepen the lore of Zelda. Like, they could have just stuck like a giant skeleton in the middle of that room and just not said anything about it. Or a Sheikah torture device. You know, that this could have been like a bottom of the well type thing that just leaves you with more questions than answers. Tim says there isn't any existing lore in the castle renovations from game to game. Not to my knowledge. Maybe Seek the Sky or New Game Plus, you have any idea? Because, I mean, you know, given the timeline, the castle kind of moves. Ow. Ow. Ugh. I hate the way this dog attacks. up. Oh my goodness. Now you're back here. Seek the Sky says, idea. The waterway dates back to the great Hyrulean earthquake. It was the old castle town Undercroft before the Temple of Time was broken into in the child timeline. Yeah, a big earthquake would explain all that. Is there a Temple of Time in Twilight Princess? I don't think there is. Yeah, they could have put like imagery from the Temple of Time in it, but they didn't. Haha. Time Mage. There is. Hello, Time Mage. Thanks for joining from Rumble. Technically, yes, there is a Temple of Time. Okay. We've got 2 people claiming. But the giant earthquake also explains the massive ravines between the provinces. Yeah, that's true. But wait, so where is the Temple of Time believed to be again? Did I just like completely miss it? Were we there already? Oh, you're right. Yes, it's in the Sacred Grove. That's right. I forgot. Sorry, it's been a long time since I've played this game. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. Oh my goodness, why did I do that? Time Mage says, I don't know how far you are in the game, but it's where the Master Sword is. At least that's what I got out of the game. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's right. I totally forgot. In this timeline at least, the Master Sword is always linked to the Temple of Time. You know, that doesn't help explain. I mean, that's why you'd need something like an earthquake to explain why the Temple of Time is so far removed from Castle Town. Word o'clock, everyone. Secret Guy says, in my head canon, the Temple of Time was completely obliterated when the Great Hyrulean Earthquake started, leaving no remnants. So, New Game Plus says, what if the Temple of Time in Twilight Princess was in the hidden world? Like, passed through the Lost Woods? Earthquake or tidal wave? Another headcanon, the ancient ruins in the Sacred Grove are actually the sealed temple from Skyward Sword. That kind of makes sense. I like the tidal wave or Great Flood explanation. Maybe at the timeline convergence. I'll finish that thought in a second. This is the one you need him to save your world. Yeah, I know. That's true. Nowhere near the convergence. Just as there is light to drive away the darkness, so too there is benevolence to banish evil. Head to the sacred grove that ties deep within the lands guarded by Spirit Pharaoh. There you will find the blade of evil's bane that was crafted by the wisdom of the ancient sages and the Master Sword. The Master Sword is a sacred blade that evil can never touch. Hero sent by the goddesses. Like you, I've been granted the special power of the goddesses. I mean, this Zelda, I mean, the Master Sword was originally found in the Sacred Grove through the Lost Woods. That's in A Link to the Past, right? Despite more injuries, you actor instead. Time Age says, here's a fun theory. The Temple of Time is dynamic, not static. Kind of like the island in the show Lost, which I never really watched, but... I mean, that could... A non-static Temple of Time, I think you could make an argument for, given that there's 2 Temple of Times in Tears of the Kingdom. Sorry, I like that scene. Man, well, not my favorite Zelda game. Twilight Princess has some really cool moments, I gotta say. I can understand why people really put it at the top of their list. Nice story beats there. Some nice sort of character development for Midna. Grinding her teeth. Alright, so let's hear this out. Time Age says, the powers of the Guardians inhabit others throughout time, and Link has taken the sword from the Temple of Time himself multiple times. So theoretically, the Temple of Time is housed within the blade. Therefore, wherever it rests becomes the new Temple of Time. Oh, okay. This could also be recognized by the fact that Link advanced several years in age when he pulled the sword by sleeping in the Sacred Realm. Oh. So the temple and the sword. The temple is the sword. That's a cool theory. And I'm gonna I'm gonna further headcanon this and link it to my theory. I know, sorry, Secret Sky, I know you don't like this theory. Or New Game Plus, I forget which one of you didn't like it. but the theory that Hylia is the goddess of time, and therefore is linked to the Temple of Time, and the Master Sword, along with the Master Sword, along with the Spirit of the Hero, along with an incarnation of Hylia as Zelda, all always show up at the same time. It's like a providential thing, a divine, you know, a whole, like a divine intervention thing. When evil starts to arise, the goddess Hylia triggers these events to take place, and you have the Temple of Time, or a Temple of Time, the Master Sword, Link as the hero, and Zelda as the incarnation of Hylia all show up at the exact moment to combat the evil. I like that. Interested to hear some thoughts on that. That's it. That's a cool theory, Time Mage. I like that. That was me who didn't care for that theory. Okay, just so to make sure. I didn't want to attribute people's opinions to other people. Also, oh, what am I doing? Here I am walking like a putz. I need to go. Also, all portals will open. Thank you. Yeah, Seek the Sky. Being very generous with my... Time Mage adds, Ganondorf summons the monster in attack mode. Lake Hylia activates her trap card. It's just all big one big Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel. Well, something in that conversation that they just had with Zelda, where she says, just as light banishes darkness, so too benevolence banishes evil. You know, it's a very something I like about you know, the Zelda world. You know, the Zelda multiverse, if you will. Is that they have a very traditional view of like good and evil, and that powers are assigned morality. Like, it's bound to morality. The different power struggles. Like, it's not just the Triforce is one power and Ganon's power is another, and they're just kind of bleh. And whoever used them can be good or evil. It's the use of the powers is bound to benevolence or evil, or malevolence is probably a better way to put it. Anyway, I like that. I appreciate that kind of moral objectivity in fantasy worlds. You know, it's not necessary in every fantasy world, but it is. I don't know. See, it's old-fashioned, and I like it. Here I am, jumping off cliffs again with my dog. Puts me back here, seriously? Okay. New Game Plus gives us a Madura update. Madura, we have no choice, we must send for help. Is there... I hear there are explorers, surely they can help us track down locations, the royal jewels. Yeah, Zelda's supposed to be wisdom, that's right. The fused shadows kind of muddy the waters. Good, yes, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. The fused shadows is kind of like a neutral, ambiguous type of power within the world. How they use it can be for good or ill. And yeah, you're right to point out, Time Mage, that the Triforce, power, wisdom, and courage, you could see it as like Ganondorf does use power for malevolent ends, so the Triforce itself could also be seen as just a neutral power within the world. So maybe that doesn't help my theory. Nailed it. I'll get it. Don't worry, guys. I wouldn't actually call them neutral, but definitely power or forces. Yeah, I'd agree with that. There is an alignment that I feel like the Triforce lends itself to, because if you touch it and there's evil in your heart, or there's like an imbalance, right? Well, okay, so what's the category again? The criteria again for touching the Triforce? If you touch it and is it there's evil in your heart, or you value one of the pieces more than the others, it will split? I'm pretty sure it's evil. Like, if you touch it and there's evil in your heart, it splits. Time Mage says, mostly because when you look at the games with the three goddesses of living characters, they are always up to something. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's if you touch the Triforce and there's evil in your heart, it will split. Or is it balanced? Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Should look it up in my Zelda encyclopedia. If your heart is balanced between power, wisdom, and courage, it splits, and you have to recollect them to use their full power. Okay. You mean imbalanced? If your heart is imbalanced between. Seek This Guy says, if a good heart touches the Triforce, the world will be good. If an evil heart touches it, yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the whole like reason you get the Dark World. So you can use the Triforce for malevolent ends. Yeah, A Link to the Past, for example. If a guy with a pure heart touches the Triforce, the world will be transformed into Glorious Land or something, and the evil will transform into Dark World. Yeah. Okay, so there goes my theory. Time H says, and Zelda 1, if a person of ill nature touched the Triforce, it would split. They were kind of shaky about how to handle the Triforce. Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, so that... Alright, so my theory didn't just come out of nowhere. Zelda's lullaby. I like lullaby. Time H says, OT was the same way too. Ganondorf couldn't touch the Triforce. That's why he had to capture Zelda and Link. Okay. Alright, so I'm not completely just pulling that out of my own head. That touching the Triforce had to do with something with good and evil. Yeah, sorry. Nothing I can really do about the flickering right now, I think. Maybe I'll hop on the Dusk Light forums. bring that up. I'm sure other people have noticed it. This is the third version of Dusklight, so oof, sorry guys. What if the Skull Kid is the same one from OOT and MM? That'd be pretty cool. Like, his time holding Majora's Mask gave him unnatural long life. Like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Sorry, I forget. I'm supposed to... I follow the music, right? Like I'm supposed to, traditionally? Where'd he go? I know it tried to show me which way he went, but it didn't do a very good job. Hang on, I'll catch up with the chat in a second. Oof, that flickering. Let me know if the audio cuts out. Did I go the wrong way? Yeah, I think I went the wrong way. Oh, this way maybe. Yeah, there we go. These things are so annoying. Die. Time Mage says, technically the Triforce of Power does allow Ganondorf the ability to gather all the Triforces, but he needs to acquire... Hang on, I gotta watch this. Oh, he jumps down there. But he needs to acquire them with his power. I guess you could say it's a test. Really miss Link. And of course, the King of Hyrule just touches it whenever he kind of wants. Yeah. Because screw the rules. Screw power levels. Yeah, I think Wind Waker was trying to play by the old rules, where it's like the king of Hyrule is good, so therefore he can touch the Triforce. Sorry, I'm trying to get a heart piece so I can survive. Yeah, I do think that there is still something there of like, if you touch it and you're evil, then you have to do extra work. Sorry, I'm trying to read and think at the same time. It's not really working out for me. Oh man, it's already 6:15 or 6:13. Oh, there he is. I just shoot him. I like how his face looks like the moon from Majora's Mask. Right now, Kusuto's heading to the Gerudo Desert. He's angry. Alright, let's beat this guy and then we'll have to call it a day. How am I supposed to do this again? Ugh, just target him. So I have to get him while when he blows his little trumpet. I have to. Approached him too soon. Yeah, that's it. Hee, bye. Alright. Now if I okay, if I save here, do I have to? Yeah, there's a bug here too, I think. Speaking of the Temple of Time. Yeah, exactly. Alright. Unfortunately, we have to call it a day here. I'm running out of time. Hopefully, if I save here, they'll start me back here, but, you know, if not, whatever, it's okay. Continue playing? No. Alright. Sorry for the late start, everybody. I won't make another silly mistake and delete my multi-stream stuff in OBS again. Hopefully. Yeah, we're gonna continue on with Twilight Princess. So what's today? Today's Wednesday. Yeah, we'll continue on with it, and next week we'll pick another game to continue. If I can't think of anything by next week, we'll bounce back to Shinobi, just for kicks. You know, I do want to complete. I don't want to try to leave games incomplete, so I still have to complete Shinobi, and we'll go back and forth when we're not playing a particular Zelda game. We'll boot up Second Wind and keep doing the Second Wind mod for Breath of the Wild, so that'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, Seek the Sky, New Game Plus. Tim, as always, thanks for hanging out. Time Mage, thanks for joining, man. It was nice to have your input. Hope you can show up again at this hour. If not, though, understandable. Maybe you just couldn't sleep today for some reason. Decided to watch some live stream at 5 a.m. But yeah, it was great having you, man. Yeah, everybody else, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the same time tomorrow. Have a great day.